he should play all three, and we can, with what we have, our personnels are going to be fun this year. Getting back to some 10 personnel, we can do that. And so he's a guy that can be a mismatch in the slot because he has the feet and the quickness to do that. He has the length to play outside. He can finish downfield. We've seen that. So yeah, he'll move around plenty.
Is that going into fall camp? Will be him inside and Bo
Joe
outside?
We'll have Joe, for sure in the boundary starting out. He'll also play the field. Bo will play the field in the boundary. They're going to be playing. They're not going to be locked into one place. After what I've seen the last couple of years, we're definitely going to have a plan for guys to be able to move around. And I think for us too. If you're not doing so much, right, you can afford to move guys around because you're learning the full concept and understanding the quarterback's read, and it makes sense. You can see the picture of what you're trying to accomplish in the concept, and so we'll move those guys around.
Being able to move those guys around, how does that kind of help the offense? Do you feel like it helped that group?
Yeah, well, it's you can create mismatches, and I think for us too is being able to motion and move guys around to accomplish mismatches and to create leverage is huge. And I think too it creates confidence for your guys. They bring more value, and also too, listen, like our guys want to play in the NFL. You're showing up in the NFL expected to know the concept. They're not putting your position on the screen when they install. They're drawing dots. You don't know where you're at. You're having to learn the concept. All right, and then say, okay, well, here's the concept. Well, today we're doing out of this formation. Well, I know I'm here on this formation. Well, that means I have this route. You have to understand concept. And so that's, for me, is always trying to help these guys also prepare for the next level, too. And so we ask a lot of them. I'm going to continue to ask more and more than what they've experienced in years past.
Another older guy that you have back is Brandon Spector.
Yeah.
People don't mention him a lot. What have you seen out of him? What do you expect out of him?
Well, we're expecting him to start. It's funny. He came back and he was coming off of an injury, missed all last season, and all of a sudden EJ is down. We were expecting him to be ready for spring, and his knee, hit him again, and so we said, okay, we got to move forward with surgery, and so I was like, all right, Spec. I'm gonna take care of you as best as I can, but understand you're starting day one of spring practice. And I tried my best, but man, he got more reps than he anticipated. But man, I think what happened is that he was so encouraged by that because he was able to maintain. There was times where he's like, Coach, I need a rep, and tap out, and that's fine. We're trying to get him back. He did so much more and did so much better maybe than we anticipated coming off of missing an entire season. And so, I'm glad someone finally asked about him. Because again, where's he been? Well, shoot, he came back and he impressed everybody. And so he's right now. He's walking out there first at that slot, and so I'm so thrilled for him. And he wants it. He's like, Coach, I want to start. I'm like, well, go earn it, go get it. And so far, he's showing that he deserves to run up there first, and he will. So.
You talked about the urgency of installation early in camp. I'm wondering, with all the attrition on offense in the spring, how much was that process sort of set back with so many people being sort of on the shelf?
Yeah, and it's not just our position; it's tight end, right?
The whole offense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to be cognizant of, hey, listen, you've got one scholarship tight end right now, so that limits you in your personnel groupings. So yeah, we were limited a little bit with some of that, and that's fine. I think too, it's a new staff, so we had to be careful, maybe doing too much, right? We had to change terminology. Well, that takes a lot of work too, and so. That was probably our main emphasis starting out is, all right, let's change some terminology, let's change signals, kind of our process with how we're getting into play. We've got some former Clemson family elsewhere this season, right? So we have to be smart, and I think that was a big part of our installation was all that too, and then you can build on it.
Coach, playing Justin at the slot last season, that wasn't a natural position for him. How much do you think that affected your offense?
There's a lot of things that happened but that people don't fully understand. I mean, it was challenging for him. I mean, he was limited early in camp. He broke his foot. I mean, there's a lot of things that really hurt his progression in the slot. And again, it came down to personnel. I mean, you want your best three on the field. And so how do we accomplish that? And similar to EJ, Ross is a big body, but he has the feet and the quickness and the ability to sink his hips to play the slot. And so, and that's what was challenging and frustrating. He missed the first, 10 days of fall camp, learning a new position, and then toward the end of fall camp, he breaks his foot heading into game week of Georgia. So he was limited in practice. And so, that was challenging, and it did. I mean, it posed some challenges that, we weren't prepared for. We're anticipating, and, for us to be successful in our offense in years past, especially kind of how our offense was set up. You got to have a guy in the slot that can catch your outlet screens and make you right sometimes. It's not always going to be blocked perfectly. It's, there's going to be a one-on-one matchup. And so we could have given Justin a few more opportunities to make a play, I think. But it was a challenging situation.
What has it been like to work with Brandon Streeter in his new role as offensive coordinator, and what have y'all done to build momentum for the new fall camp and the season?
Streeter's been incredible. I think he's one of the most detailed guys I've been around. He has coordinator experience, and so he's prepared, and he has loads of documents, all right, to help us stay detailed and so, man, he's done an incredible job of being collaborative. He wants us all to have input, and so we have, group discussions, whether it be with the 5 assistants or with all the support staff. We have some phenomenal support staff, and so he uses his staff, and that's the thing I think that's great. Is like, hey, listen, we're hired to do a job. He's going to ask us to do our job, and he's going to give us freedom to do it and have input, and so I respect that, and it kind of helps us as young coaches learn and take ownership and prepare to be a coordinator ourselves someday, and so that's been really cool. And I think our guys have really bought in because we've rolled out changes that are helpful. It's not change to change, but it's, hey, listen, this is how we can improve, this one concept. Hey, let's continue to run this concept, but here's a wrinkle to help us, and it's shown up in spring practice. Oh, I like that, coach. That's awesome. They love it, and so that's been great. I mean, he's a phenomenal leader, and so that's been great. And we have momentum. We have momentum because of what we were able to accomplish in the spring and create buy-in. That's the main thing, man. You have to create buy-in with your guys. They have to know that we're working as a staff to improve, to make them successful, and they see that. So yeah, they've bought in, and we had a fun spring. It was fun. You got the personnel to have a lot of fun, to make plays, and so it'll be a successful season.
Is there a guy you feel like from day one you're going to need to play some?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's going to compete. I mean, again, he's a guy that's already, we knew, we recruited him for a reason, and we play our freshmen. I mean, our guys, if you're capable and you know what you're doing and you're healthy, let's go earn it. But man, we play our freshmen. And so yeah, he'll be a guy that's going to compete early, and that's the thing the guys know, man. You're gonna have to go earn it. Running out there first is an honor, but you have to earn that. And even if you're not running out there first, you've seen Justin Ross lead our team in receiving coming off the bench. Like, that's kind of what we've done, and so we have that personnel. Let's go play, and everybody gets to eat.
Do you feel more confident about where your guys are and kind of their mindset about whether it's perimeter blocking? You mentioned spot blocking in the spring, kind of going into this camp versus last year.
Yeah, it's want to. I mean, all that's want to. And I think for me is I'm showing up with a little bit different mentality myself, and the guys picked up on that in the spring. And for me, I'm not hamstrung to having to play one person. like, hey, you know, get your job done, or I can get somebody else in. You know, I mean, I love you. They know that. I mean, we have great relationships, but ultimately, it's about performance. It's about doing your job, and so whoever can do their job the best is going to run out there first. So, and that's part of the game.
Is Cole Turner, do you know where he'll start out?
He's going to start to the field at Z, or our two-man, and he can run. I mean, that's, you know, I'm pumped about Cole because, you know, that's the other thing that I want, and that's what I'm recruiting. You know, my guys out there know I'm recruiting a certain kind of mentality, and Cole has that toughness, that physicality, that I look for, and so that helps him kind of set himself apart already. Is that mindset, and so that's going to help him. He'll continue to grow and develop and compete as well. I mean, you know, he's not showing up just to watch, so we expect him to compete.
You mentioned putting guys in the league. How much does the success of Nuke and Renfro, T, all those guys have in recruiting? How easy does that make your job?
Yeah, I mean, we've put guys in the league, and not only that, they've shown up to the league and they've produced better than any other program in the country, you know, and so we have those numbers to back it up. I mean, and so, you know, every guy that we're recruiting has aspirations of playing in the NFL, and so yeah, I mean, it helps in recruiting without a doubt, and having Coach Swinney, I mean, to talk about his experience and his involvement in coaching, helping coach receivers is huge. So yeah, I mean, it's this place, you know, already is appealing to a recruit, but when they show up here, they see the numbers, they get around our staff. I mean, it sells itself.
Tyler, is it fair?